Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcome back to the Clean Collective segment brought to you by Society Brands, a purpose-driven platform investing in founder-led wellness companies that are changing the way we live, shop, and self-care. And today's headline says it all. No fluoride, no parabens, no chemtrails. How this oral care brand is leading the clean smile revolution. That's what we're going to get down to talking about. Let's get real for a second. We brush our teeth twice a day, every day, and yet most of us have no idea what's actually in our toothpaste. The truth? It's shocking. Over 80% of mainstream oral care brands contain ingredients banned in other countries. Fluoride, still pushed as essential, has been linked to neurotoxicity in children in repeated studies. And those so-called whitening strips, oof. Most rely on peroxide, which can damage enamel and cause long-term sensitivity. It's one of the most routine parts of our wellness ritual and one of the most overlooked. But a growing number of women, especially moms, are waking up and opting out. And today, we're meeting the two powerhouse women leading that very charge. One from a desire to fill a gap and the other from the legacy-building boardroom. Amanda Ake is the president of Primal Life Organics, a clean oral care brand trusted by families and wellness-forward women alike. She's a single mom and fierce advocate for special needs families. She doesn't just develop products, she tests them at home, formulating clay-based tooth powders, detox rinses, and peroxide-free whiteners that put results and safety on equal footing. She's redefining what it means to smile clean and proving that performance doesn't have to come with a chemical warning label. She's going to be joined today by one of the most respected operators in consumer product innovation. Shawn Dougherty is the co-founder of Mophie. Yes, the battery case that saved millions of iPhones, which she grew from a barn in Michigan into a $250 million global brand. Now, as co-founder and CEO of Society Brands, she's building a portfolio of wellness-first companies like Primal Life Organics, giving mission-driven founders the infrastructure to scale without losing their soul. Amanda, Shawn, welcome to the show, superstars.
Very exciting times.
So, Amanda, I'm going to chat the Wakeup call because this is really what got me with your story. The oral care industry is on track to hit like $60 billion globally, and yet most of that growth is tied to synthetic ingredients and chemical-based solutions. It's mind-blowing when you do the research. What was your personal wake-up call that made you say, all right, there has to be a better way, and I'm going to help pave that way?
So I'm a mom, and becoming a mom, having kids of my own, always made me far more aware of the things we're putting in our body, on our body, around our bodies. But the moment I realized that my kid's toothpaste has a warning label, a poison control warning label on it, was just this massive wake-up moment. You shouldn't have a poison control warning label on something I'm asking my kids to put in their mouth twice a day, every day. So I was determined. We had to have a better option.
Yeah, and that kind of clarity when wellness and motherhood collide, right? It creates movements. You didn't just find a gap, you filled it with purpose and performance, which brings me to you, Shawn, the founder instinct. I really want to talk about that. You've been pitched by hundreds of brands, but only a few truly align with the Society Brands philosophy, and fewer still make it through the door. So what was it about Amanda and about the Primal Life Organics that made you lean in, and how do you recognize when a brand has what it takes to scale without compromise?
She's just full of life, and she lives and breathes the brand. And that's how the best brands are created, is for an internal need, whether it's back in the day when my iPhone died and I knew the rest of the world's iPhone was dying, or, just waking up to these toxins that are being put in our body and needing to find a better solution. So Amanda just lives and breathes Primal Life Organics, and she invents a lot of the products herself and does all the jobs, really. And that's what an entrepreneur is. It's just someone that listens to the consumer and is near and dear to the brand and is doing it for something much bigger than what's bigger than your kids and everyone else's kids? There's just so much, doing good that happens with some of these amazing brand founders that we come upon, and Amanda's one of them.
Now, Amanda, let's chat about ingredients to watch, right? So fluoride, SLS, triclosan, artificial dyes, ingredients still common in mainstream products, even though many have been linked to endocrine disruption, sensitivity, and even gut imbalance. So what is the biggest red flag ingredients women should look out for in their toothpaste and whitening kits? And how does your formula tackle those issues naturally?
Let's talk about fluoride. We live in a country, unfortunately, that still tells us that fluoride is key, that that's what we use to keep our teeth strong, to keep our mouth healthy. Except fluoride is absolutely linked to all of those things. It's linked to fertility issues, gut issues. It is linked to so many problems that are mainstream issues, thyroid issues. I mean, how many people do you know with thyroid issues? Yet we are still going out and we're buying tubes of toothpaste, brushing our teeth with it twice a day at least, and we're putting that fluoride in our bodies. And all of your health and your entire body is linked to your mouth, your gut health, your heart health, your brain health. So everything you put in your mouth is going to affect all of those different systems. And we're still putting fluoride in all of these products and telling people that that's safe and effective and that's what you should use. So instead, we switched over to nanohydroxyapatite. So hydroxyapatite is absolutely the substance that is naturally found within your teeth's enamel. So we added it to the products so that it could help to remineralize those teeth and restore that enamel as it's lost. And then we paired it with theobromine, which is going to help to strengthen that enamel. So we're going to remineralize it, and then we're going to go ahead and help to strengthen it to make your teeth more cavity resistant.
It's wild how something so routine like brushing our teeth can be such a hidden threat. I mean, you're empowering us to ask better questions, so thank you. Now, Shawn, let's talk about scaling without selling out, right? It's no secret that clean brands often get watered down as they grow. We've seen it happen. Society brands seems to do things differently. How do you help Primal Life Organics and their team keep their formulas pure, their messaging tight, and their community trust intact as they scale?
Sure. Yeah, we amplify the founder's vision. We don't dilute it. They all come in and they have these special sauces. And so we really like to figure out what those special sauces are and then put the rest of the ingredients on the table just to make it so, these leaders can stay more focused on product innovation and the things that are their special sauce that have allowed them to grow the business to the point that they have. We bring smart sourcing, supply chain support, finance, great partnerships like this one.
Big shout out.
Big shout out to iHeart. But the founder's voice stays central, and we just give it a bigger mic.
Now, the whitening myth, Amanda, I want to come back to this. Many women are afraid to whiten, especially those pregnant, breastfeeding, or with sensitive gums. And like the quote unquote clean options really don't work. And the effective ones feel, risky. So can you explain how your peroxide-free system works and why it's different from what's on the market today?
So unfortunately, everybody's still using peroxide, and it's a type of bleach. Who wants to put bleach in their mouth? And then it causes sensitivity. It's eating away at your enamel. We're not actually whitening teeth in the way that we think that we are when we're using those products. We're stripping away the enamel and we're causing damage to our teeth to make them whiter. And it's not permanent. It's not going to stay. So instead, we switched over to PAP. So PAP is a alternative that's going to gently and safely whiten that enamel. So it's going to oxidize those stains and help lift them. So it works together with those other ingredients that we just talked about. So that nanohydroxyapatite is going to help remineralize. That theobromine is going to make the enamel stronger. And then that PAP is going to help lift those stains and keep them away without causing sensitivity, without causing pain, without causing gum recession. We're not going to hurt our teeth, and we're going to cause lasting results that are safe.
That's powerful. A whitening system that doesn't force you to choose between safety and results. And you've made Smile Care something we can trust again. It's so sweet.
Absolutely.
No pun intended. Now, Shawn, women are leading the clean economy, as you could see here in this room.
Yep.
Here we go. So over 80% of households' purchase decisions are made by women, right? And moms in particular. We're driving the demand for clean alternatives across every category. Why do you think female CEOs, leaders, founders, and presidents, especially moms, are uniquely equipped, and I say that uniquely, sorry for the guys out there, but we are uniquely equipped to build lasting brands in the clean wellness space? Tell me.
They're on the front line. They're reading the labels. They're protecting their families. They're listening to what others are doing, and once you hear it, I think knowledge is power. It's hard to unhear it, and I don't think that there's any anyone's going to disagree that we're a little bit behind the times over here in the United States, and it's time for us to catch up. But they don't need research. They live the need. They have empathy. They have execution. They're superpowers. They're protecting their family, and I don't know if there's a more primal thing to do than protect your family. And so we're here to help those products. I mean, they're superstars, and they're creating these products, right? Because if they can't find them, they're going out and creating them.
I know, I love this.
And that's even more amazing, right? So we're finding a whole new clan of superstar entrepreneurs out there, and if they can't find what they're looking for, they're creating it. A lot of the promise that we're making is the promise to educate and to show you the difference between a clean product and an unclean product, and bring you clean products.
When you look at the brands that you hub under Society Brands, it's very refreshing for me to know that I'm shopping clean and sustainable, and that you stand by all of your products. And that's a big difference. And it feels more authentic than ever, because we have a major takeover right now with Big Pharma, and we're going back to basics. And I think it begins with us moms. So thank you for saying that. Now, Amanda, I'm going to go back to the feedback loop, because we've building not just a brand, but a community. So whether you're building Primal Life Organics, whether, Shawn, you're building Society Brands, you're breeding a community. And the testimonials from women, from moms, from even dentists certainly are pouring in. So what are some of the most surprising or meaningful things customers have told you about your products, and how has that shaped what you're building next, Amanda?
So testimonials are always the favorite part of my day. I go through our reviews on a regular basis. I love hearing customer feedback. As a matter of fact, Shawn and I were at an event not too long ago that was for retail expansion, and I had vendors and customers coming up to us saying, I use your products. I know your brand. I love it. We actually had a booth next to us where the ladies that were sitting there said that it changed her life. She said she had always had awful oral care, that she had to have lots of procedures, really invasive, painful procedures. She hated going to the dentist. She feared those visits. And she came across our products, and using our products changed that game for her. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard that. People say that they look forward to brushing now, and I love hearing that. But further than that, they get really excited about that first dentist appointment after they've switched to our products, because they start getting good feedback for the first time in their lives. In a lot of cases, people are hearing that their teeth look great, that their oral care looks great, that the plaque is gone. And they're excited, because a lot of us fear the dentist. A lot of us don't want to go to those visits. So to be excited about that and feel positive about those visits instead of fearing them is a huge thing. And I feel like we're changing lives.
Yeah, you said it. And that's the kind of impact that doesn't need PR, right? When your customers become your storytellers, you've struck a nerve in the best way.
And I'll tell you, honestly, my oldest son is autistic, and oral care was always this massive issue for us. He didn't want to brush his teeth. He didn't like the mint toothpaste. He didn't like normal toothpaste, and I could not get him to brush his teeth. Now, he's excited. He loves brushing his teeth, and he gets excited about the flavors. So every single month he asks me, okay, what's this flavor? Can I try it? What's the next flavor? Can I try it? And you know how fun that is to see this child that I couldn't get to brush his teeth excited about his oral care.
That warms my heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on here to Shawn, right? Legacy as a metric. You've built one legacy brand with Mophie.
Mm-hmm.
Society Brands feels like your second act, but this time focused on health, women, and longevity, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful tagline. What kind of legacy do you want Society Brands and even Primal Life Organics, by extension, to leave behind in this wellness wave?
That's a great question. I mean, legacy to me equals lasting impact, not just hype. So we want to educate, and I think the world's ready for it. We've been through so much. But the COVID hit, and I think we were ready for it. Now we're back to a little bit of norm, right? But I'd like to keep children out of avoidable, dangerous situations, like the immense amount of time I spent in the dental chair, just because my parents weren't educated. But Primal Life is about oral health education, and that needs to be a thing, because our teeth will be important to us for our entire life. And fluoride-free options, because we know that fluoride is not good for the mouth. And like I said earlier, at Society Brands, we don't just grow brands, but we protect them. And similar to Mophie, we help them attempt to become, brands that are loved by consumers and respected by consumers and trusted by consumers, but eventually household names. We need change. Success is measured by the lives we improve, not about necessarily the number of units we sell. And so it's time for change.
Well, you built Mophie in a barn.
I did.
You've sat at the
A
table.
pole barn.
You've sat at the table with Apple, and now you're empowering other founders and presidents to do the same, but with more alignment and less burnout. And that's really is impressive. But what's your best advice for women building brands right now, especially those who want to scale with integrity and stay clean and still sleep at night?
Yeah. Protect your product and your story. Build your brand. Build the brand every day. When you build the brand, build it for something that your future self would be proud of. Don't rush. Stay rooted. A lot of people are going to try and get you to take a lot of shortcuts, and shortcuts can really hurt a brand. Whether it's buy my ingredient, it's less expensive. Come with my service because I can fix all of your problems. The many fast wins that approach entrepreneurs these days. And at the end of the day, follow your gut, and don't rush. And clean doesn't have to equal perfect, but clean does equal honest and thoughtful and better than it was before. And that's what we're attempting to do here. We're attempting to educate, and we'll always be in the learning circle. So we don't claim to have all the answers, but we're going to try and bring you the very best ones to the best of our ability. And then for all those consumers who already follow us and talk to us, keep talking to us. Please talk to us. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. You're our most valuable product development resource asset that exists in this world. You help us bring great products to market by sharing your everyday struggles and letting us have the honor of coming up with solutions for those struggles.
All right, Amanda, before we sign off, I heard there's something spicy launching in the lineup this month. Tell me more.
So our next line is a cinnamon line. So we decided to take the really amazing power of cinnamon essential oil and take it and put it in all of these amazing products that we have. So cinnamon essential oil has this amazing antibacterial property. So you need to stop that acid attack in your mouth. Anytime we have an overabundance of bacteria in our mouths, it causes that acid that eats away at our enamel. So anytime that we can find something that will help to do away with that bad bacteria in our mouths without harming the good bacteria that our oral microbiome absolutely needs, we want to add that into these products. So we're going to take those Dental Boost and the activated charcoal and all of those clays, and we're going to add cinnamon essential oil to it to make this amazing, delicious product that makes people want to brush again. There's a lot of people in the world that don't like mint or don't like the fruity flavors, but cinnamon is just this awesome, spicy concept that also is really, really healthy for you.
And there's also a cinnamon lip balm product that there's one for men and another for women. The one for women is a little bit spicier, and it does natural lip balming because that's the essence of what cinnamon does. It's the spiciness of it actually naturally makes your lips a little plumper. Plumper, yes.
Yeah, it gives that little spice. Amazing. Well, we're at the end of our date, my dear girls. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was so much fun. Amanda, Shawn, you guys are powerhouses, and I'm so honored to walk this journey with you.
Thank you for having us.
Honored to be walking it with you, too.
To learn more, visit PrimalLifeOrganics.com, and you can also follow Amanda at Primal Life Org. To follow Shawn's portfolio of purpose-driven brands, you can head to Society_Brands. And the Clean Collective segment is brought to you by Society Brands, purpose-driven platform investing in founder-led wellness companies that are changing the way we live, shop, and self-care. Until next time, brush clean, scale smart, and never underestimate the power of a mom's mission. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.